Hey everybody, welcome to winningblogtactics.com. My name is Dexter, and today is January 9th, 2015, which means that this is officially the end of the first work week for the year 2015. I mean, unless of course you worked last weekend, but for most people this is actually the first weekend, and this has been a big leadership year for me. So far I've been studying up on leadership, developing my leadership abilities and stuff like that. And it's what I've been blogging about, or what I started to blog about, and I've pretty much turned my blog into sort of this journal of the path that I'm taking this year. I made some really hard decisions, and really decided to take the next step in my business, take the next step in my life, and really become a leader, improve myself and develop into becoming the type of person that would actually have the things that I'm after, and the type of person that would actually achieve the goals that I want to achieve this year. And one of those big sacrifices that I made was actually being really selective about who I let into my inner circle. And I'm going to say this here and hope nobody gets offended. It's not meant to offend anybody, but not everybody around you that you associate with, that you're friends with, maybe even that you're family with, not everybody around you is going to be a benefit for you when it comes to your goals, especially running a business. Sometimes it's family, sometimes it's friends, and sometimes it's just random strangers. But more often than not, it's somebody that you actually let into your inner circle. So what I've actually done is I've decided to actually cut out a lot of the people that generate a lot of the drama and the back talk, and stir up a lot of the trouble and the turmoil. And when I decided to cut those things out of my life so that I can focus on doing more, becoming more, naturally I had to cut out people that were always always negative. And it's not that I'm not their friends anymore or that I don't care about them anymore. It's just that, as I said, not everybody is a benefit to your goals. Not everybody is going to work well with what you're working towards. So when I decided to cut that out, I decided that I had to really restrict who comes into my inner circle. And now that the week is over and I'm kind of looking back, I've realized, especially this morning when I got up and I started going through my Facebook timeline, my Twitter timeline, and stuff like that, because I've actually been unfollowing negative people and unfriending negative people. Again, not because I'm not their friends or I don't want to hear from them. It's just that I have to control what I actually allow into my headspace, and what who actually gets access to my personal space. So I began to notice something, and I actually picked out a few random people that I unfollowed, and I kind of went back down through their timeline. And I looked at some of the past posts, some of the messages I've had with them, and it dawned on me. There are people out there that are addicted to drama. They're addicted to pain. They're addicted to turmoil. They're addicted to all of the negative things out there. And in some ways, and I've actually seen this on a personal level, there are some people that just don't know how to function unless there's some type of drama going on. And that is not something you want in your life, far less being in business. And you can see it when they're talking. They're always talking in a way that kind of justifies the position that they're in. They'll post about they're proud that they're broken, or they're happy that they are in a negative place, which to me, now that I've grown past that point, is something that's really foreign to me. I don't get it. There are some people that are happy that they're sad, and I know it sounds silly when I say it, but when you see somebody post something like I'm proud that I'm broken, and the person that chooses to be their friend is somebody that's just as broken as they are, and they're content as all get out. And I don't understand that. And I should say I don't understand that anymore. And I know people personally that they live for negativity. They thrive on it. They pride all the backbiting, all of the drama, all of the Twitter beef, and they live for this stuff. When you go down through their timeline, 99% of it are about fights, World Star Hip Hop. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you guys out like that, but they're always sharing, all this negative stuff, crime going on, dirty cops all the time. They're sharing about the latest victim. They're always blogging about politics, the negative side of politics. They're always tearing somebody down. They're trolling people when they post something positive, and they're always like, yes, that's true, but and they start listing all this negative stuff, and they're always quick to point out hypocrisy in other people and quick to point the finger, and it's like they don't know how to survive unless there's some bullcrap going on. Like there's some drama going on. And I'm starting to realize that there are people out there that are addicted to being in pain. It's like that's their comfort zone. Now, when I first started a few years ago, I heard somebody use this story, a mentor of mine, Tony, and he used the story of a hound dog. So now, out in the country, so there was a farmer with a hound dog. They had this really nice house with a big front porch, and that hound dog had a favorite spot on that front porch that he would go to and lay down every day. Now, every day as he was laying there on the porch, he would howl and cry in pain all day long. But no matter what would happen, he would still go back to that spot. One day a stranger came up and asked, why is your hound dog crying? Or, why is he always howling? And the farmer said, well, that's his favorite spot, and there is a nail jutting out of the board there. And the hound dog goes to that comfort spot, and he sits there on that nail, howling and crying all day. So, the stranger asked the farmer, how come he doesn't move? And the farmer replied, I guess it doesn't hurt enough. And I'm starting to realize that there are a lot of people like that hound dog. They're used to being pain. They're used to being caught up in the drama. They're used to, having to struggle, to fight, to be in the grind all the time. And that's what they're comfortable at. They don't know how to function unless stuff like that is constantly going on. So I wanted to offer a little bit of insight now that this is kind of like the end of the work week for me too. I wanted to kind of break from the norm, talking about leadership, mental development, skill development, talking about strategy. And I want to kind of reflect on this for a minute here. And I hope it's something you guys actually listen to. Now, especially if you're in business, you want to be surrounded by people that are working towards what you want in your life. And not necessarily peers all the time, but you want people who are actually achieving what it is that you're after. People who have broken through and made the steps that you wanted to take or that you're working towards, people who's been there, because those are the people that you learn from. Those are the people that you model after. You need mentors, people that are living the life that you want to live, that in some way have achieved what it is that you're after. And when it comes to focusing, you want to really control who gets into that little inner space of yours that you're trying to, that will ultimately develop into your lifestyle. So you want to control who gets into there. You want to find some leaders around that can actually help you move forward. And I want to share this with you. Stop talking about the pain that you're in. Stop talking about the struggles that you're in. Stop talking about all the drama that you're going through. That is only focusing on the present pain. Entrepreneurs, successful people, you know what they focus on? They focus on the future, what it is that they want to accomplish. They focus on the positive things. They focus on when they reflect on the past, they focus on what they've been through before, and they use that as a triumph. Yes, they went through pain. Yes, they went through struggles, but they focus on the success of overcoming that and getting to a position where they are now, where they can actually help somebody else. Their past pain is something that they've already gone through, something that they finished. It's something that they've overcome, that they've triumphed, that they've had success with. And they share those stories to inspire people, to get people to move, to get people to make decisions, to get people to take action. So while you're going through something, don't talk about it. Talk about it after you're through it. Talk about it, after you've torn down that barrier, after you've moved forward, after you've gotten past whatever it is. That's when you talk about it. And you turn that story into something that can inspire and motivate somebody else. Now, if you're somebody that's new, let's say you're now getting into business and you don't know, you don't have any of those stories. You're still in the middle of it. You're just starting out. You have no experience. You don't have any success stories. So what is it that you want to do? Well, I'll tell you. When I first started in this industry, I didn't have anybody. I didn't have any successes. I was working 2 jobs. And at one point it was 7 days a week. And I like to call it like my zombie month because I was so tired it wasn't even funny. And to tell you the truth, there were some days I was so tired that I say that Jesus was driving for me, because I remember getting off work, clocking out, going to my car, and waking up at home in my driveway wondering just how the heck that I got there, because I did not remember anything after getting off work and heading to my car. All I know is I'd wake up and I'd be in my driveway. And there were times that I'd wake up on the highway just in time to get back into my lane because I was running off the road. And let me tell you, when you're working 2 jobs 7 days a week, or when you're working something that's physically demanding, because I worked a lot of jobs. I was a farmhand, I worked construction, I worked in a factory, and I was working graveyard security. And when you're working heavy jobs and just physically demanding and stuff like that, there's nobody around that within reach that you can actually say, well, how do I become wealthy? How do I make money to quit this job? And let's be honest, it's what I was saying. Not everybody you want to have advice to, or you want to get advice from. I mean, how are you going to ask for money advice on becoming wealthy from somebody who's never made more than $60,000 or $70,000 a year? They don't know, otherwise they would have done it already. And it's not just business, it's just money. How are you going to take advice from somebody who has had more messed up relationships than you about relationships and having a good marriage? You just don't do it. How do you ask medical advice from a bum on the street? Think about it. Who are you letting into your inner circle? Who are you listening to? Who are you taking advice from? So that is sort of the process I've been going through, eliminating people. But to kind of get back on point here, if you're just starting out and you don't have that, you don't have past successes to build on, you just have bad experiences. Let's say you're in the middle of it, you're trying to find a way out for the very first time. What can you do? Well, first, what you want to do is you want to find a mentor. Somebody who has the life that you want. Somebody who's doing things that you want, and you get close to that person. Now, before I started Winning Blog Tactics, I wanted to become really good at SEO, at doing at generating traffic and leads and sales and stuff like that. So what I did was I offered to work for free for someone else who actually did what I did. He handed me all the dirty work, building backlinks and doing the market research and stuff like that, so I could learn this stuff. And what happened? I became really, really good at it. And it actually worked with my past experience being in the IT field. So I became really, really good, and now I run my own company, charging, $1,500, $3,000 at a time to do this for other people, and I've had great success over the years doing that. When I wanted to learn about this industry, what did I do? I got around people who were successful. I became part of a team of people who were successful. And those are the two most important things that are going to be able to help you. Because if you don't have successes of your own, you can always leverage someone else's success along with your story to create results. For example, one of the companies I'm in, and I won't mention the name here in the video, I don't want to cross promote like that. One of the things that I did when I first got started was that I became part of a team of people who were doing what I wanted to do. I got around the people that were successful in that company, and I started sharing their stories. I say, look, I just joined this company, and I wanted to, how do you say it, lift up other successes in the company. It's like, look, this person is doing some amazing stuff in this company. I'm really excited about the results that they're getting. I'm following the steps that they laid down, and we're doing this too. If you want to learn more about what we're doing, enter your name and email address here. Click that link. So I didn't have those successes to build on. I didn't have a success story or a big triumph that I can leverage. So, some people, they've gone through it doing other businesses, and they'll say, hey, look, man, I'm making, in this business, this is how I made my first 5-figure month. I'm going to teach you these steps, and if you're interested, enter your name and email address, pick up the phone, click the link, whatever. And they have successes that they can build on. Or they can tell their story, about some of the things that they've gone through and how they overcame it. Now in my case, I have several of those stories. For example, I could talk to you about nearly a year, where after the house fire, me and my family lived in a lean-to shack that we built ourselves out of plywood. I mean, those were things that we overcame, And I could tell you about those stories, and I do. I could tell you about some of the horrible jobs that I've worked, and I do. But, here's the thing. If you're starting out, the thing you want to do, even if you're not just starting out, and this is for anybody, number one, you have to control your space. Control who gets in, who gets access to you, who you spend your time with. I'm not saying burn bridges. I'm not saying stop being friends with people. I'm not saying, forget these people or stop caring. What I'm saying is you have to decide who gets access to your personal space, who you spend time with, who you ask advice from, who are you allowing to inspire you, and who are you helping, and who are you allowing to help you make your decisions. Not everybody that you know or you're acquainted with is out to help you, or even is in a position to help you, even if they have the right intentions. So number one, you have to start cutting out the negativity. You have to start cutting out the drama. You have to start cutting out the counterproductive things that only hold you back. And that, even if you have to unfollow people, if you have to unfriend people, just to control what information comes into your timeline, what information comes into your inbox. If you have to unsubscribe from a list because a person is just a sarcastic idiot all the time, always sharing negative news and always stirring up some type of drama, unsubscribe. You don't need that. And what you want to start doing is you want to start following positive people. You want to start friending positive people. You want to start subscribing to people that can actually benefit you, that you can learn from. People who have had successes, people who can inspire you, people who have done what you want to do and are where you want to be. And if you're just starting out, second thing is find a mentor. Find somebody that can train you. Find somebody that can not just inspire you and hype you up. Find somebody that can teach you something. Somebody that you can watch and model after. The third thing is find a community that you can be a part of. Like attracts like. If you want to be successful, try and find a way to become to join a community or be a part of a community of successful people. Learn from them. Be around them. Those should be your inner circle with whatever you're trying to do. And fourth, learn to leverage stories. Learn to leverage other people's success stories, especially if you're just starting out. If you find something that excites you, chances are it's going to excite somebody too. If you're watching a video or you're listening to an audio tape, which is actually another good thing you want to do. You want to be able to leverage the success of others when you have nothing of your own to fall back on. That's definitely something you want to do if you're just starting out. And this is something that's really, really cool. When you're listening to audio tapes, your mind cannot tell the difference between whether you're talking to somebody face to face or whether you're hearing something. It's all audio to your brain. It's all sound to your brain. So like you're watching this video, your brain can't tell whether I'm actually physically standing in front of you or if you're watching a video. It's just your senses. It's just coming through your senses. Your brain processes it, and that's how you know what it is. So, like, I am in the process, and I can't find the book right now, but I have a book that I'm studying called The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John C. Maxwell. We've heard the old saying before, leaders are readers, but I like to read with a purpose. Like this year's development, I have the 21 Irrefutable Laws. I have this book here. It's Developing the Leader Within You. It's another John C. Maxwell book. There are some audiobooks that I purchased. I think one of them is from Anthony Robbins, Awaken the Giant Within. Really, really powerful. I've listened to it at least 2 or 3 times now. And, I continue to journal. And when I say journal, I mean blog. Because I like to have something to reference. I like to be able to map my own journey, especially where I'm in a business. I like others to see where I am in my journey, see what I'm learning, and I like to share what I'm learning. And when you get into business, you will understand the process for that. We like to say learn, do, teach. So you learn about something, you do it yourself, apply it to yourself, get results, and then you teach it to others. That's sort of our 1, 2, 3, 4 success. So I've turned my blog into sort of a journal of my path to leadership. And if you take those 5 things that I just mentioned about, whether you're new or whether you're not, whether you've been in the industry for a while, I want you to consider monitoring who you have in your circle, who you have in your inner circle, who are you letting influence your decisions, who are you allowing to imprint on your mind. Is it somebody that's negative? Is it somebody that's positive? If you're a person that always has drama in your life, ask yourself this: are you comfortable where you're at? I mean, really, how much pain can somebody take? And, when it comes to business and you think about it, if you're not having success, maybe it's because you're a negative person. Think about it. And I'll give you this example and I'll leave. If you're a person that is always complaining about the position that you're in, man, I'm so broke, man, I need to get this sale, I need to make this money, and you're putting that out there, aren't you coming across desperate? Aren't you a little bit too eager to sign somebody up or to move that product? What's somebody going to say? Who's going to buy from a desperate person that's just there to obviously get your money? Nobody, right? So focus on the positive things. And I don't mean affirmations and mantras and stuff like this. What I mean is focusing on the things that you've done, the things that you've accomplished. And if you don't have them, focus on the accomplishments of others. Find a way to couple that with your own story and turn that into something that you can leverage. Focus on putting out positivity, putting out inspiration, putting out success stories that people can be inspired by, because ultimately that's the thing that people listen to. And I said I'd give you that and head out, so I appreciate you guys listening to this. If you're still listening to this, just go ahead and leave a comment wherever you're at, whether it's online, on a video site, or if it's the audio you're listening to. Just go ahead and leave a comment, like, share, let me know what you thought. I'd love to hear your feedback. This is Dexter with MoneyBlogTactics.com. Thank you guys.